CDL Practice Test, Texas, General Knowledge, Part 2. Question number 32. Which of these statements about using mirrors is true? A. There are blind spots that your mirrors cannot show you. B. You should check your mirrors twice for a lane change. C. You should look at a mirror for several seconds at a time. The correct answers here. A. There are blind spots that your mirrors cannot show you. Explanation. Mirrors can show a great deal around your vehicle, but there are still blind spots that you can't see. Keep an eye on all the vehicles around you that you can see. In case one of them starts to move into one of your blind spots, also use a helper when backing. Question number 33. You are driving a new truck with a manual transmission to take a long, steep downhill grade. A. Use the same gear you would use to climb the hill. B. Shift into neutral and coast. C. Use a lower gear than you would use to climb the hill. The correct answers here. C. Use a lower gear than you would use to climb the hill. Explanation. With older trucks, you typically use the same gear for driving uphill and driving downhill. Today's trucks tend to have more powerful engines and be more efficient than older trucks. Hence, you can drive such a truck uphill in higher gears than you would use to drive downhill with engine braking. Question number 34. When the engine is at operating RPMs, the pressure is built up from 80 to 100 C within 45 seconds in a dual system. A. Oil. B. Temp. C. Air. The correct answers here. C. Air. Explanation. When the engine is at operating RPMs, the air pressure should build from 85 to 100 C within 45 seconds in dual air systems. Question number 35. Common medicines for colds can make you sleepy. A. False. B. True. The correct answers here. B. True. Explanation. Cold medicines may make the driver drowsy or otherwise affect safe driving ability. However, possession and use of a drug given to a driver by a doctor is permitted if the doctor informs the driver that it will not affect safe driving ability. Question number 36. Where or when should you test the stopping action of your service brakes? A. At a special brake testing center only. B. When the vehicle is moving at about 5 miles per hour. C. In the parking lot when the vehicle is not moving. The correct answers here. B. When the vehicle is moving at about 5 miles per hour. Explanation. To test the service brakes, do the following. Wait for normal air pressure. Release the parking brake. Move the vehicle forward at about 5 miles per hour, and apply the brakes firmly. Check whether the brakes stop your vehicle promptly, and note any abnormal signs such as your vehicle pulling to one side. Question number 37. Which of these statements is true about backing heavy vehicles? A. Helpers should be out of sight and use only spoken signals to communicate with the driver. B. It's safer to back toward the right side of the vehicle. C. You should avoid backing whenever you can. The correct answers here. C. You should avoid backing whenever you can. Explanation. Backing up a large vehicle is always dangerous, even with a helper. Try to avoid backing up as much as possible. Question number 38. What is hydroplaning? A. When you hit a pothole. B. Driving in the snow. C. When the tires skim over the road surface. The correct answer is here, C. When the tires skim over the road surface. Explanation. On a wet road at lower speeds, modern tires will usually channel water away to maintain contact with the road. However, in deep water at higher speeds, the channeling action of the tires becomes less effective and the tires start to ride on a layer of water like water skis. This is called hydroplaning. It may result in a loss of braking and steering control. Question number 39. An en route inspection should include checking A. For tire overheating and brake overheating. B. That the cargo is properly secured. C. Both to the answers are correct. Question number 41. To prevent skidding, you should A. Brake hard at all stops. B. Turn the wheel sharply for all turns. C. Adjust to conditions while driving. The correct answer is here, C. Adjust to conditions while driving. Explanation. To prevent a skid or a rollover, adjust your speed and driving style to fit current driving conditions. Question number 42. What is black ice? A. Very hot slippery tar. B. Oil slick on the roadway. C. Snow on the roadway. D. Thin sheet of clear ice on roadway. The correct answer is here, D. Thin sheet of clear ice on roadway. Explanation. Black ice is a thin layer that is clear enough that you can see the road underneath. It makes the road look wet. When the temperature is below freezing and the road looks wet, watch for black ice. Question number 43. What is the correct amount of tread needed on your tires? A. A minimum of 1/2 inch on all tires. B. 4/32 of an inch on all tires except the front tires. C. A minimum of 1/2 inch on front tires. D. At least 4/32 of an inch on front wheels. The correct answer is here, D. At least 4/32 of an inch on front wheels. Explanation. Tire tread on the front tires of your vehicle should be at least 4/32 of an inch. The other tires can have 2/32 inch tread. Question number 44. You are driving a 40-foot vehicle at 35 miles per hour. The road is dry and visibility is good. What is the least amount of space you should keep in front of your vehicle to be safe? A. 6 seconds. B. 4 seconds. C. 2 seconds. The correct answer is here, B. 4 seconds. Explanation. The formula for following distance is 1 second per 10 feet of vehicle, plus an extra second if you are traveling over 40 miles per hour. Therefore, for a 40-foot vehicle traveling at 35 miles per hour, you should leave a following distance of 4 seconds. Question number 45. What should the wheel bearing seals be checked for? A. Cleanliness. B. The color of paint used on the cover. C. The hub oil level and possible leaks. The correct answer is here. C. The hub oil level and possible leaks. Explanation. It can be unsafe to drive with a damaged wheel bearing. Therefore, inspect each wheel bearing for leaks that can allow grease to seep out or dirty water to seep in. The wheel bearing is located behind the wheel. Check for grease on the wheel and any other evidence of cracks or leaks in the wheel bearing. Question number 46. How does bleeding tar affect the road surface and driving conditions? A. It is very sticky and slows down your vehicle. B. It does not affect the road surface or driving conditions. C. Tar rises to the road surface in very hot weather, causing the roads to become very slippery. The correct answer is here. C. Tar rises to the road surface in very hot weather, causing the roads to become very slippery. Explanation. On hot days, tar in the pavement can rise to the surface and create a slippery film on the road surface. Question number 47. Which of these is not a good rule to follow when caring for the injured at an accident scene? A. Move severely injured persons if there is a danger due to fire or passing traffic. B. If a qualified person is helping them, stay out of the way unless asked to assist. C. Allow injured persons to become chilled or overheated. The correct answer is here. C. Allow injured persons to become chilled or overheated. Explanation. If qualified medical personnel are at the accident scene, stay out of their way unless they ask for help. If they haven't arrived yet, try to keep injured persons warm, but not overheated, or cool, but not chilled. Don't move them unless there is a danger of fire or another accident from passing traffic. Question number 48. Name some suspension system defects. A. Leaking shock absorbers. B. Broken leaves in a leaf spring and a cracked or broken spring hanger. C. Both of the above. The correct answer is here. C. Both of the above. Explanation. Leaking shock absorbers and broken or missing leaves are two of the more common defects that may occur in a suspension system. Question number 49. What are two ways to know when to upshift? A. Use engine speed, RPM, and road signs. B. Use your watch and engine sounds. C. Use engine speed, RPM, and road speed, mph. The correct answer is here. C. Use engine speed, RPM, and road speed, mph. Explanation. Before driving your vehicle, check the driver's manual to find out the recommended operating RPM range. As you're driving, keep your eye on your tachometer as your vehicle increases speed. Shift up when engine RPM gets to the top of the recommended range. Another way to know when to shift up is to learn in advance which gears are suited to which speeds. As you drive, watch your speedometer and shift accordingly. Question number 50. For your vehicle inspection test, if your vehicle is not equipped with electrical fuses, what should you do? A. Mention it to the examiner. B. Choose a different vehicle that is equipped with fuses. C. Bring only a few spare fuses for demonstration purposes. D. Bring spare fuses anyway. The correct answers here. A. Mention it to the examiner. Explanation. As part of your emergency equipment check, you're supposed to check for spare electrical fuses. But if your vehicle doesn't use electrical fuses, tell the examiner so he or she won't think that you just forgot to check. Question number 51. To avoid rollbacks when you start, you should A. Engage the clutch very quickly. B. Stop on a flat area. C. Partly engage the clutch before you take your right foot off the brake. The correct answers here. C. Partly engage the clutch before you take your right foot off the brake. Explanation. When you start your vehicle, avoid rolling backward or else you may hit someone behind you. Set the parking brake whenever necessary to keep from rolling back. Release the parking brake only when you have applied enough engine power to keep from rolling back. If you have a manual transmission vehicle, partly engage the clutch before you take your right foot off the brake. On a tractor trailer equipped with a trailer brake hand valve, the hand valve can be applied to keep from rolling back. Question number 52. Which of these statements about certain types of cargo is true? A. Oversized loads can be hauled without special permits during daylight hours. B. Unstable loads such as hanging meat or livestock require extra caution on curves. C. When liquids are hauled, the tank should always be loaded completely full. The correct answers here. B. Unstable loads such as hanging meat or livestock require extra caution on curves. Explanation. If you're carrying a cargo of livestock or hanging meat, slow down on curves and proceed with extreme caution. A cargo of hanging meat typically has a high center of gravity. Plus, hanging meat sways significantly when you're driving on a curve, making for a very unstable load. Livestock can move around or lean on curves, adversely affecting your vehicle's stability and making a rollover more likely.